Who is the most hated team in women's college basketball in the 2023-24 season? Now, before we start, I want to be clear, this is sports hate, and if you're on this list, you should see it as a badge of honor. As a general rule, hate is based on jealousy as your team has been kicking ass and people are sick of it. For instance, in football, nobody gives a damn about my Houston Texans. Hence why whenever we happen to make the playoffs, which might never happen again in my lifetime, I'm pretty resigned to. Well, when we do make it, we are the Saturday wild card playoff game. Nobody gave a damn about the New England Patriots before they started winning. Remember how they were the plucky underdog in the Super Bowl versus the Rams? So to be hated, you have to have winning, but then really, to be really hated, you have to have a touch more. Arrogance or a cheating scandal, i.e. my beloved Astros. We were just another team that won a World Series, and then all these allegations, unproven allegations, come out about hitting trash cans, giving away fastballs and off-speed pitches. All lies, I tell you. Altuve didn't want his jersey torn off, not because he had a buzzer, but because he was too shy and it would make his wife angry, like he said in the interview. All right, okay. So there you go. I have a hated team, and now I am going to come after these other hated teams. Now, in men's college basketball, the hate is usually saved for the big three blue bloods, which is Kansas, Kentucky, and Duke. In women's basketball, I think it's pretty obvious that the three would be UConn, South Carolina, and LSU. It feels strange, but apologies to Stanford, Iowa, and Tennessee for not making this year's top three hate list. Hopefully you can be involved in some sort of ugly cheating incident or start winning a lot to raise the level of hate for your program. Basically, Iowa, I see you like Hoosiers. Everybody's going to love you because you're the underdog. And then Stanford, yeah, you just haven't won enough and you had all those transfers. And then Tennessee, you've really never been the same since the Pat Summitt era unfortunately ended. All right, before we start, if you like this content, then please subscribe to the channel. Your poison is always welcome, and I assume I'm going to get a hell of a lot of poison on this video. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into this thing. Hate in college basketball is usually based on two things, which is players, i.e. you have a JJ Redick or a Grayson Allen, but the most important thing is the coach, as they set the tone for the level of hate for the program, i.e. if you have a Mike Krzyzewski, a Roy Williams, or maybe I'm dating myself if you have a big John Thompson with his Hoya paranoia. And funny enough, that leads me to number 3 on the team hate list, which is South Carolina and Dawn Staley. Now, her program has just started to get that annoying level of winning, but she's always going to generate hate as she's black, opinionated, and a woman. Now, combine that with winning, which they have done, and instantly you have a hateable basketball team. Now, the haters of Staley will point to her always complaining and playing the, quote, race card. She canceled the USC game versus BYU due to an alleged incident involving a Duke volleyball player being taunted by racial slurs. She also called out Geno Auriemma after beating UConn, saying his complaining about the game or the Gamecocks helps create a stereotype or narrative about her team being thugs, and further amped up this on social media. Geno, for his part, did not apologize, saying he had been criticizing refs for years and how they call games. Now, I don't think that Staley and the Gamecocks can win the coach and team hate award this year, as the Gamecocks are rebuilding. In terms of players, they really don't have anybody that's really hateable. Last year, UConn complained that they were too aggressive, as they often have a style of player where they tear into teams with aggressive in-your-face defense. But in terms of that one player that everybody loves to hate, nobody really stands out on the Gamecocks to me. Now, as you probably expected, UConn are number 2 on the hate list, which is based on years of winning, but not only winning, but pretty much being goddamn arrogant about their winning. Geno has never worried about running up the score on an inferior opponent, as they're more than happy to bludgeon them, which makes him and UConn look like a bit of a bully. The other thing that Geno likes to do is have a good feud, which often seems to be with a female coach who might be a threat to his winning. The legendary Pat Summitt was so annoyed with him that she called off the annual Vols vs. Huskies matchup. Notre Dame coach Muffet McGraw has no love for him either, saying, "We don't have a relationship," she said in 2014. I think that got lost when we were in the same conference. I think there was a modicum of it, but I think after beating them and not feeling any respect from that, we lost something. And then he made enemies of non-UConn players as well, as Auriemma was the Team USA Olympic head coach for the 2012 and 2016 games, and he was accused of being biased and favoring UConn players. Candace Parker saying she thought she was omitted from the 2016 team because I don't think Geno wanted me on the team. In terms of players, they have the GOAT, Diana Taurasi, who was in your face polarizing. The current players, Azzi, Fudd, Paige Bueckers, and Aaliyah Edwards are likable, but the latter two will take some heat over the amount of PR they get for how little they have played in the last 2 years. But overall, I think UConn can't top the hate list, as they are a comeback story. Deep down, most are rooting for Fudd and Bueckers to be healthy. Once they are healthy and win, then we can hate them. As well, Geno has not won enough recently to hate. Instead of hate or fear, he's mostly viewed as a grumpy old man with the "back in my day, players were tougher and better." As well, if UConn is able to make a run and win the title, then there'll be a celebration that the old guy still has it, which is a storyline the media loves. And then there was one. Congratulations, LSU and Kim Mulkey. You are the most hated team in 2023-24. Yes, it's been quite a honeymoon for LSU and Mulkey. The honeymoon was the hometown girl returns, and only her second year she wins a national championship. But have no doubt, if LSU plays as well as they look on paper, then Mulkey will start to get more and more heat, as she is an easy target, be it her views on the Baylor sexual assault situation or Brittany Griner or on COVID or whatever. She's always in the spotlight. I think she privately loves it as well. The way I see this going down is at some point she'll be questioned about LSU's NIL advantage and how it's unfair and how all the players are going to LSU and it's ruining college basketball. I expect her to go much like on a Jimbo Fisher type rant. You know, A&M would be hated, but they just can't win. But LSU should win big, and I imagine dislike will grow as they are blessed with players that fans love to hate. Take your pick. Angel Reese, how dare you mock America's three-point shooting queen. Falage, who had her recent issues with her song and some feeling it disrespecting 9/11. Or HVL, the bratty, self-centered point guard who is disloyal to Louisville and is ring chasing. If you are an LSU fan, congratulations, as this is a badge of honor and it really means all the other teams are jealous of you. Now it's over to you. Tell me who you think Team Hate is for 23-24, or hell, do you just hate me? All your comments and poison are welcome. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.